watching boxing.
Do you have a favorite fighter now that's active?
Right now, Asian, like Naoya Inoue.
Inoue, amazing fight.
Yeah. He's a good fighter. And I hope that he will accomplish in different weight division also.
Any possibility that you would go back in the ring and fight someone like a Tank Davis?
If he wants, and if he come up to 147, then we can fight.
He can't meet you at 140?
145 maybe.
I know it might sound crazy, but you brought up Inoue. Like, do you foresee potentially at someday you guys meeting together, maybe at a catchweight, or maybe if he keeps going up in weight?
Probably.
Yeah.
That would be like a fun fight.
Be crazy.
Yeah, that would be a fun fight. Now that would be technical. That fight right there, like me and him. But I think I'll be too big.
Some fictional battles lead to arguments, while others haunt you. For example, Inoue versus Gervonta, each of the two unbeaten champions from opposing sides of the globe, including Davis, has a style designed to break the other anew. The monster is all brutality and precision. Every punch is calculated, every angle is deliberate, and the speed is such that you don't notice it until it's too late. If they ever met, it would be more than simply a super fight. It would be a philosophical test, and Pacquiao has selected his winner. Davis, also known as Tank, fights with cool menace, stalks with patience, and ends it all with one violent, unnoticed shot.
Gervonta Davis and Inoue?
If they were in the same weight class.
Inoue.
Why is that? Why does Inoue beat Gervonta if they could have figured out a fight?
Inoue is fast.
Inoue's fast.
Inoue is fast.
Is Gervonta part of your plans down the future?
Remember, in boxing,
When an 8-division legend like Pacquiao chooses speed over power, the world pays attention. However, this wasn't just a headline. It was insight into how one of boxing's greatest minds views the matchup in a way over Davis, not the KO artist, but the technician, not the wrecking ball, but the scalpel, and why that's what this breakdown reveals. It also reveals what Pacquiao saw, what fans missed, and why, even if the fight never takes place, it may have already revealed something deeper about greatness, timing, and the anatomy of a victory. This isn't just another hypothetical fight. It's the kind that challenges boxing's fundamental query of what factors, timing, speed, precision, or pressure, actually win a fight. Based on one of the best fighters to ever enter the ring, the answer may already be obvious. It was brief and nearly thrown out in the middle of a sentence, but Manny Pacquiao's statement that Inoue Inoue's speed is the key. Although it might not have mattered, Pacquiao established an empire on speed, not only quickness, but also controlled chaos, by defeating bigger, stronger, and more touted opponents. The internet didn't hear a comment. Instead, it heard a conclusion from someone else. When he claims that Inoue's speed would be the difference between him and a knockout artist like Gervonta Davis, you pay attention because Manny understands what it's like to enter the ring as the smaller man and what it's like to feel outgunned on paper only to dominate in motion because he made them miss and then punish them before they could think.
On the top 5.
Easily.
Combination of speed, power, agility, balance.
Benito Lopez is my number 1 in history for me.
That's precisely what he observes in Inoue, not just speed for show, but deliberate velocity in a way that doesn't waste punches, sets traps, angles, and then strikes before his opponent's brain has caught up with their body. It's a kind of timing that's terrifying, not just quick, and that gives Pacquiao the advantage. It worked against Santa Cruz, against Raleigh, and even when he was behind on the cards. But what happens when you never get an opening? Davis had never faced Tank, who was a master of patience. He lets you settle in before turning out the lights with a single shot. That's the implication Pacquiao is making. This isn't a jab at Davis Pacquiao. He's been dropped by power and has used it to his advantage, but he's always said the same thing. You can't hit what you can't catch. When he watches Inoue, he sees a fighter who not only moves, but also controls movement. A fighter who beats the ambush that beats the bomb in a way that doesn't need to knock you out cold. Instead, he breaks you clean. Manny is aware that in a fight where the margin of error is so narrow that one mistake ends it all, speed isn't just a weapon, it's survival. Perhaps that's why the comments sounded so straightforward. Now and Gervonta Davis are two of the most complete fighters in the world today, but their methods of winning couldn't be more dissimilar. So it's easy to understand why this dream fight is so divisive. Not by hype, not by story, but by mechanics. In a world of weight classes, punch stats, and online debates, sometimes it really just comes down to one thing. Who lands first? All of Naoya Inoue's movements, from his body shots to his jab, are planned with purpose. He doesn't just react. Instead, he anticipates. His footwork isn't particularly impressive, but it's effective. He closes distance like a phantom. And his punch timing is so precise that most opponents aren't even aware which hand connected. Every round is a chess game, and Inoue never wastes energy because he doesn't need to. He is always 3 moves ahead of the Gervonta. Inoue is clean, but Davis is the other side of the same coin. Davis is vicious, and the epitome of danger in silence. He leads you down as if he's sleepwalking, his shoulders slightly turned, his eyes fixated. And just when you think he's coasting, he explodes. He only needs a window, not loudness.
Check the way up. It just takes one contest to remove that veil of doubt in his long career.